Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So back to the discussion again. So I think right now we're going through a lot of problems, not just spiritually amongst some people, but in general the whole world is kind of lost in their confusion about things that are going on. They don't understand. You know, I think we become so lost even that some people, like, they don't even understand what is real and what is not real. And you can see that in a lot of people's confusion. And I'm also kind of confused about that. But I do know one thing is that there is love and there is hate. There is justice and there is injustice. There is a duality in the universe, good versus evil, whatever you want to call it. And humanity right now is suffering so severely because people are not willing to defend the righteousness, and they're not willing to submit to God. So God is punishing them with this version of hell that we call dunya, that you're living through right now. And people can say, well, that's crazy, this is a complete misstatement, and that they know what life is about. Well, none of you know what life is about. You're just trying to assume that you know what life is about because your mom told you this, and your dad and your grandparents. But we all assume that we know anything about life, and we know almost nothing. The more you think you know, you don't know anything, because things are just unraveling before your very eyes, and you don't really see the events or the connections of things. But we all agree that they're happening. When we pick up a textbook in history, we know events have happened, but we don't understand why they happen, what's going on, how come the reality works in this way, why does it work in this way. And most of it is because God just told us, hey, you need to submit to justice, to good versus evil. You need to choose a side of what side you want to be a part of. And many people are going to the evil side. And whatever evil lurks in this world that is doing whatever damage it's doing, this evil comes from an almost unseen realm, like a ghaib in the Quran. This unseen world is actually visible the more you become closer to God. The more you turn to God, the more you defend God, the more the Creator, before anyone, attached a name that was supposed to deceive people about God. Many times in the Bible it says that God changes his name to Yahweh, and some people say, well, this is abomination, and this is like the demiurge that in the Gnostics call the Jalut Goliath. And some people say that about Islam as well. And this is kind of the thing. It doesn't really matter what God's name is. God doesn't really care that much, because if you were living in the middle of a jungle like the rainforest, and you never talked to anyone in your whole life, and you were a good person in the jungle, God's not going to judge you on whether you knew the name of Yahweh or Jalut Goliath or anything like this. It doesn't matter what the name you associate with God, as long as you were a good person and you believed in the Creator before you, that created all things before even this creation was created. Like in the heavens, that Creator, the original Divine One, the Creator of creations before creators became creators. So that is an important instinctive thing that we as society, we know is a fitra. It is our connection to the original God that is a loving God. He wants to help us. He wants to get us out of this problem that we're in. But it's also upon our submission that we need to submit, that we've gone astray, that we're not understanding the deeper part of this kind of connected thing that we're going through right now, and people are divided on this. And